Hi everyone, this is Darren with SimNation doing the follow-up video to the video I just released where Merrimack was able to defeat Villanova 42-37. So now it's on the Alcorn State. So just following with what we discussed in the last video, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Alcorn State. I am going to take a look at their last game, which was against Tarleton State. And I'm going to just take a quick look here and see what this looks like. So 28 rushing attempts, 49. Looks like they may have gotten behind, so I don't know that this is going to be accurate. So we'll look at the play analysis, the over here. So immediately what we notice again is short passing game, more inside running this time. So that'll be a little bit different for us. So let's go ahead and take a look back at the box score, see who was playing. So Chambers is the quarterback. Can take a quick look at him. At least he's not a running quarterback. He should start. He's got pretty good stats. The main runner looks like Husky. Husky is extremely fast. That's going to be fun. He's got good strength, so he's a good running back. So I'm going to have to try to negate him. The wide receivers, again, are faster than my cornerbacks. This is going to be like a recurring trend. They do look like they have one injury. Their tight end is much faster than my strong safeties. So this should be a lot of fun for me. Looking at the pancakes, Withers, who is a guard. Wow, what is it with all these teams being better than my team? Anyways, so I think using the same game plan that we used last game is probably going to be the right call. He'll look at the roster real quick and just do a quick scan. Yeah. Speed-wise, the receiving core is pretty slow. Actually, the receiving core is on par with mine. They're just a little bit better at catching the ball. Their secondary is really good. The linebacking core is not as good. So outside of the offensive line, I think I can pretty much almost run what I did last game. So first thing I'm going to do is go in, look, see if I got any injuries. It doesn't look like I have any. Edgar Brown was already hurt, so that's not a big deal. Double check Hill. I do need to make this change because Gaffney was only in because Pipkin was hurt. Switch them back. Defensively, I'm not going to make much of a change here. I do need to see what's going on with my linebackers, though. Let's just see here. Dollar. Have a lot of linebackers, apparently. Shit, that's going to hurt. We're going to have to put... I have to look at that. What about Ray? That would hurt if Ray's out. Yeah. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. We're going to put Fry, though. He's just better. I'm going to have to bring Fagan up. Just generally speaking, I don't have good linebackers. Losing a linebacker is actually going to really hurt my team quite a bit. But we'll see if I can't deal with that. We're just going to put Vasquez in here. Doesn't matter because once I get past my starting linebackers, they're not extremely good. I am going to look here. I do want to keep a good tackler in. So I could bring Knotts in. I'm going to put Knotts in the middle. Because I'm not going to have a lot of plays where I am going to be in coverage. I should be okay with that. I am also going to take a step back and look here and just see my stats on defense. What I'm looking for here is target to catch allowed ratio. Based on last game, there were a lot of catches. I could think about potentially having Nito come in and play a little bit more because he seems to be shutting people down. So we'll probably make that change real quick. I think Woodbury was... We'll just move Woodbury here. Again, these guys are all going to be faster than the wide receiver, so I'm not as worried though. Strategy-wise, I don't think I need to change anything for this week within my strategy. I think this strategy should hold up based on it. I'm going to keep it slow and steady wins the race. Keep this going the way it is. I do need to change this. I'm going to go against Chadwick. Again, looks like short passing a lot. What I am going to look at my playbook is to find plays that didn't work and get those out. There aren't really many of those. Did have an interception here, but we'll leave it alone for right now. Same here, gonna look and see any plays that really didn't work. Maybe too many touchdowns, things like that. Generally, we seem good here. So with that said, I think I'm ready to sim this. There's not much change. Some of these videos are going to be quick and straightforward just because I'm not going to change anything. So sim the week. We'll come back, look at the team office. Absolutely skunked them. The beauty of this, of refining it, is to just keep refining your playbook week over week. You can see here really good defensive effort, much better than I did against Villanova. Alcorn State's not as good as Villanova, so this one was going to be a little bit of a foregone conclusion. Looking at my offense, still Trinidad's doing a great job. Rawlings and Stinson are running the ball with authority. Doing okay with the receiving. Probably got some drops in though. Special teams, Simpson much better than last week. Maybe the coach lit a fire under him after his like 19.5 average. You can see here not a lot of penetration. I'll have to work on how I can get more sacks and more pressure on the quarterback. But generally, my cornerbacks are doing a good job. Not giving up a lot of sacks. Brown did, though. I'll have to look at that and make a decision there. Penalties, not huge. Shelton did get a couple penalties. I'm going to need to look at that. Part of the penalties has to do with him not having the skill. So all in all, the next thing, of course, I'm going to do before the next game, which is against Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart's not that good. They're equivalent of this team. It's just, again, I'm going to go in and take a look at the playbook. Just see what's working and what's not. Right now, a lot is working, so that's good. Defense-wise, do the same thing. Continue to look to see what's working and not. The cover 4, I'm going to wait a game before I ditch these just to see, but these are likely going to go away after the next game. Also, in about another week or two of the season, I should be able to start breaking this playbook into run and pass plays. So all in all, quick and easy. As you can see, the main things I do is I take a look at the last game they played. I see what plays they were calling, get an idea of how many run versus pass plays, and then that would determine what type of offense I'm going to run, what type of defense. In this case, Alcorn State looked a lot like Villanova, so I felt that I didn't need to make any changes. In some weeks, you're not going to make changes. The only change I really made was around my quarterback, and I made a change with my cornerback to put in someone who looked like he was shutting down the receivers a little bit more than the other person. And then, of course, I had to deal with some depth chart issues because of injuries. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know, but I'm going to continue to churn these out. So probably we'll churn out the next one in the next day or two and try to do 2 a day or 2 every other day. So hopefully this helps you with game planning. And again, within game planning, one of the biggest things is if you don't need to make a change, don't make a change. Have a good night and talk to you later.